Hello friends, Andrew from Jam Campus here, coming at you from Taipei, Taiwan. And today, we're gonna do something a little bit different. Instead of one of our own educational songs, what we're gonna do is provide you with the tips and resources for you to create your own educational song and video. Because that's where the learning really happens. When you create your own educational song or video, I can guarantee you that by the end of it, you're gonna know more about that topic than anybody that you know. It's kind of cool, actually. For me, I hardly remembered anything about photosynthesis until I threw on a flower costume and started busting out these award-deserving dance moves. And now, I'm totally prepared the next time the American Society of Plant Biologists hits me up and asks me to be their keynote speaker. No, it hasn't happened yet, but I can sleep soundly at night knowing that I'll be ready when the time comes. So that means if you're a teacher looking to build some awesome custom content for your next lesson, or you're a student that just wants to knock their next project out of the park and really impress everyone, this is going to help you at least get started on some of the basics of what you need to create your own educational song. Just note that this video is not meant to be a step-by-step guide. Rather, these tips are more like a checklist of best practices for the entire process of creating your song. Alright, are we ready? Number 1, choose the right topic and song. For the topic, this one will be a little bit different dependent on your circumstances. If you're a student that has an upcoming project at school, your teacher's probably already assigned you a topic. You're good. Boom. Done. Move on to the next step. But seriously, even if you do have your topic in hand, do a little search on YouTube and see if there are any other songs out there regarding your topic. If you find some, that's awesome. Use them as inspiration, see how you can make yours a little more unique or more clear for people to understand. If you're a teacher, this will probably take a little bit more time on your part. What I'd recommend is writing out a list of all of the different subjects that you teach throughout the year and determine which of those topics is the most challenging for your students. If there's a certain topic that you know all of your students are going to be sleeping through, time to turn it into a song. The goal here is really to take the most challenging or the most boring topics for your students and freshen them up a little bit, make them a little bit more interesting, and just try something new and see if your students are interested in that. And now on to selecting the right song. You've got to make sure that you select a really awesome instrumental audio track for your song. If you're gonna go the parody route, which means taking a popular song and changing the lyrics around, I'd strongly recommend choosing a song that both you and your audience are really going to enjoy. If you need help in this area or you just can't find any instrumental tracks, we can help you out here at Jam Campus. What I'd recommend doing, subscribe to our email list, which will be sending out frequently free downloads, mostly of instrumental tracks to help you put this all together. You can find that link down below, subscribe to the email list, and you'll get some free downloads coming your way shortly. Number 2, spend most of your time writing great lyrics. Honestly, writing great lyrics is arguably the most important part of the entire process. I'm not even kidding. The goal here is to stay focused and pack your educational song with as much relevant information that you can fit into the song. I like to think of each individual word as an opportunity for your audience to learn something. That means you really want to get rid of all your fluff lines or fluff words in there. Just get them out. For example, I wouldn't recommend lyrics like this. Lincoln was the 16th president, and he was a really cool gent. You know, what did that tell us? That told us that he was the 16th president, and the second line told us that he was a really cool gent. The second line is a fluff line. Get rid of it. It's not needed. Even if Lincoln was a really cool gent, and he probably was, does not help at all in the context of the song. Does not help your listener. Does not help you understand more about Lincoln. Just get rid of it. Instead, you could try something like this. Lincoln was the 16th president, won the election as a Republican. So with that second line in there, now we know what party President Lincoln was associated with. See that? And just adds a little bit more detail, a little bit more flavor, a little bit more personality to your song. My strongest recommendation here is to take plenty of time writing your song. Go back to it every single day and just see what part can I tweak to this? Can I take out a couple words? Can I add a couple new words? Can I get this to be more focused on the subject? Spend a little bit of time each day, and you'll love the results. Number 3, make sure you have a quality audio recording. Nothing turns an audience off more than poor audio quality. And this rule doesn't just apply for music videos. Really, any type of video that you're creating, make sure that you can keep your audio quality as high as possible. But hear me out, that does not mean you need to go spend $300 on a really expensive mic just so that your audio quality is higher. There are many other ways that you can go about that can get to good enough audio quality for your audience. If you are looking to get better audio quality and you're not sure where to start, I'd recommend getting a USB microphone that can just plug directly into your computer, because then you don't have to get like an audio interface and do all these other things that are going on. It just plugs right in and you can use any recording program. I've listed a few options for USB microphones down in the comments below. They're ranging from a few different price points, so depending on where you're at. If you're looking to do this on the real cheap, honestly, you can just use your cell phone. Look in the App Store and there will be tons of free audio recording apps for you to use. Make sure you're in a quiet space, make sure you're in a small room so there's not as much echo. And hey, don't even worry if you can't sing that well. For me, I know that I'm not the best singer in the world. Trust me, I've received way more "the cringe is real" comments than I'd really like to admit. There's always free auto-tuning software that we can get into another time to help you stay on key. But otherwise, what I'd really just recommend is practice. Keep singing the songs, work on some karaoke songs, and you'll get there. Number 4, use interesting visuals. If you're recording your own video, you're gonna need a costume. No educational song and video is complete without a ridiculously awesome costume. Go down to your local Goodwill, hit up the $1.99 section, and try on all the different clothes. Find something that's gonna fit with your song. And if you're the one starring in the show, here's an essential piece of advice. Go wild and crazy. Be the craziest version of yourself that you can be. Trust me, when we're on camera, sometimes, if we're not used to it, we're a little shy and we think that we're doing things and we think that we're being crazy, but then we watch it back and we're like, oh, that was really boring. I was hardly even doing it at all. I looked really uncomfortable. If you can just go beyond yourself, have an extra cup of coffee or something, and just go wild, go crazy, like go to the extreme, dancing, weird facial expressions. I promise you, it's gonna make the end product for your audience so much better. Plus, you're gonna have a lot more fun creating it. So just let loose a little bit, be wild, be crazy, have a blast. You'll also probably want to add some images over the top to make sure that your audience fully understands what your song is about. And the best part is you can do this for free by just pulling images off of Google Images. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that they are large enough so they don't look pixelated once you put them on the screen, and that they fit the 16:9 aspect ratio. Like, you don't want black bars going on or empty space. You want to make sure that you fill the entire screen. And lastly, if you are using Google Images, just make sure that you filter your search by labeled for reuse, because you don't want to be using other people's content and recycling that and putting that up on the internet as your own. So what you can do to do that is you go to Tools, and then for usage, just make sure that labeled for reuse is checked. And then you also just want to filter for size and large. Make sure your image isn't pixelated. And number 5, include captions of your lyrics. This is one that I learned early on when creating educational videos, is to provide the captions underneath so your audience actually knows what you're saying. I know it doesn't look as cool and it's probably annoying to type out, but I guarantee it's gonna dramatically enhance your audience's experience to actually know what you're saying. When we're the ones creating the song, we're like, oh, of course I know what we're singing and what we're saying. But sometimes our words can be hard to understand, or maybe we slurred over a certain part and we know what it says, but other people don't. Just have those titles underneath and it's gonna make your day and everybody else's day so much better. When you're creating these, the color is important so that it stands out. Like, don't pick something that blends in with your background and people are like, what is that? What does that say? Okay. For the color, I like to use white text. It seems to pop off of most of the backgrounds that I use, pretty easy to read. And I also add a black stroke around each letter so that if it was a completely white background, you'd still be able to read the words pretty easily. And that's 5. Those are the 5 to get you started. I mean, there are so many details of creating a good educational song and video. So hopefully, this is a good overview of kind of the basics, but we're gonna be creating a lot more videos like this to help you to create your own songs and videos. So please subscribe down below. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. have a great rest of your day.